Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Graney, and what I'm going to teach you today is another way to divide, and this is called synthetic division. Synthetic division is usually pretty short compared to long division, but it does have its limitations. For example, we can only use it when we are dividing by a first degree binomial. So we could not use it if we were dividing by something with x squared or x cubed in it. We also couldn't divide it if it had more than two terms, which again brings us to x squared. So it has to be a binomial, okay, and a first degree binomial. So here's what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to put the terms of the dividend in decreasing order. So it's already in decreasing order here. The second step is to write the coefficients of the dividend without the variables. Let me first show you how to set this up. I want you to give yourselves a little pocket onto the side, and now we're going to write the coefficients of the dividend, not the variables. But we have to add placeholders if we don't have a particular power. Here's what I mean by that. Right here we have 2x squared, so we're going to put a 2 here. How many x to the first do we have? Well, we don't have any. So we have to put a 0 because that refers to 0x to the first. And then we just put our coefficient of 5. So we've set up a little bit here. We've taken care of our dividend and set that up. And now what we have to do is we have to take the divisor and set it equal to 0 and solve for x. So we will have 2x minus 1 equals 0. And then we would add 1 and divide by 2, which gives us x equal to 1/2. That is the number that we will put in what I call the pocket. 1/2 will go right here. So now we have set up our synthetic division. Now we can go ahead and start to actually do some work here. So what we do is, no matter what, we bring down the first coefficient, which is just a 2. And now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the coefficient by the number in the pocket. So in other words, 1/2 times 2 is 1. And we will put that 1 right here. So one of the things about synthetic division is instead of subtracting, like when we do in long division, we actually add. So we say 0 plus 1 is 1. And now we do that again. So we say 1/2 times 1 is 1/2, and we add down. So we get 5.5 or 5.5. Okay? We would keep doing that until we're done. So obviously we're done now. Some of these problems will be longer. And what we have to do at this point is we have to divide all values except for the last one. So sometimes I take this last one, I put it out here because that's actually our remainder. So we divide all of the values by the denominator of the number in the pocket. In other words, we have a 2 here, so I'm going to divide this value by 2 and this value by 2. Now, because we have divided out a power of x, and if you remember, we started with 2x squared, this value, 2 divided by 2, which is 1, will actually give us 1 degree less than what we started with. So 1x, this was our x term, remember. So 1 degree less than that is just a constant. So 1x plus 1/2, or you could put a 0.5 there. And then we have a remainder, the value over here, 5.5 over our divisor, 2x minus 1. And that's our answer. Okay, that is our answer. And again, we've taken 2x squared, we divided it by an x, which drops this to a first degree. All right, let's go ahead. Let's do another problem here. So on number 2, we're going to set this up again. I know it says you try, but we're going to do this one together. Remember, we make our little pocket. Then we go ahead and we write the coefficients of our terms in descending order, being careful to add any placeholders. So we have 2x cubed. We don't have any x squareds. 4x, and then negative 6 is our constant. Now what we're going to do is we will take x plus 3 and set it equal to 0 and solve. When we solve, we get negative 3, and what we're going to do with the negative 3 is we're going to put it in the pocket. So we put our negative 3 there. We've set it all up, and now we start. Always, 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 we bring down that first coefficient. And now remember, we're going to multiply and add, multiply and add. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Add down, we get negative 6. Negative 3 times negative 6 is 18. Add down, we get 22. Negative 3 times 22 is negative 66. Add down, we get a remainder of negative 72. Now, you know what's really nice about this? We have a denominator of 1 here, so we don't have to divide anything out. If you divide by 1, it's not going to change anything. But remember, this is going to be 1 degree less than what we started with. It's a depressed polynomial. It's 1 lower. So this was an x cubed, a 3rd degree polynomial. This will be x squared, which is a 2nd degree polynomial. So what we get when we do this division is 2x squared minus 6x plus 22. And then remember that negative 72 is our remainder, and we put it over the divisor, which is x plus 3. That's our answer. So number 2, I'm going to help you set it up, but I want you to then stop the video and go ahead and try it on your own, and then come back and see if you got the same answer as me. So what I can tell you is, this may look like we're multiplying, but when we have a negative exponent, remember what that does is it brings that value, which is the entire binomial, to the denominator and makes the exponent now positive. So now it looks more like a division problem that we're used to. So there are lots of different ways to write division. So when we set this up, remember what we do. We make our pocket. We take our coefficients. So we have 4, negative 2, and 6. We don't need any placeholders this time because we're going from x squared to x, negative 2x, and then to 6, which is our constant. So we don't have to put a placeholder. Now we take our 2x minus 3 and we set it equal to 0. Add 3, divide by 2. It tells us that we will have 3 over 2 in our pocket. So at this point, I would like you to stop the video. Go ahead and see if you know how to do this problem, and then start it up again. And hopefully we'll have the same answers. Okay, so let's see how you did. So we're going to automatically bring down our 4, and then we're multiplying 4 by 3 over 2. So you can just multiply straight across. 3 times 4 is 12 divided by 2 is 6. Or you could have done a little reducing ahead of time, which I always like, and you wind up with 3 times 2 is 6. When we add down, we get negative 2 plus 6 is 4 again, so it's really the same math. We bring up that 6. 6 plus 6 is 12, which gives us our remainder. Now remember, this number in the pocket had a denominator of 2, which means we have to go and divide these two terms by 2, but you don't touch that remainder. Okay, so 2x plus 2 plus the remainder of 12 over 2x minus 3. I hope this helps. Have a great day, everybody.